Hiya. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to add Google Analytics to your WordPress site. This is a very common need for new users. So I'm going to run it down. It's a little complicated. Your interface to Google Analytics might look a little different than mine, depending on if you've ever used Google Analytics before. For me, conceptually, I still default to creating a new account per site. So I'm going to go into, I went to from analytics.google.com in the left sidebar at the time of recording this, at least. If you click on the gear in the bottom left here, I think, give it a chance to load. Yeah, if you click on this admin in the bottom left, you'll get to this screen that kind of shows all your accounts, and you can create a new account. So I'm going to create one real quick for this site. I'm going to call it WPShout Rocks. My website name will be WPShout Rocks. My domain, this isn't a real site, you can't go find this online, will be at WPShoutRocks.com. I can set the time zone right here. I'm going to leave it as, no, I'm going to put it on Mountain, which is where I live. And then I'm going to get a tracking ID after I accept their terms of service. So Google Analytics is just one of many analytics platforms, but it's by far the most common. And what you need to really add Google Analytics to your WordPress site is to get this tracking ID. And it'll always have this kind of structure. UA, which actually stands for Urchin Analytics, which is what Google Analytics was like decades ago, followed by this big, I think it's a 8-digit number, 9-digit number, followed by a dash and then another number. That is basically Google Analytics, followed by the tracking number, followed by something else. This is what you'll need to install it on a WordPress site in general. And I wouldn't generally use any of this stuff down here. My default way of doing this is always just to get one of the various Google Analytics plugins in the world and use that. They're all about the same. All of them will have a little bit of spam in them, if you will. And all of them will possibly pull in your data, but they'll all make it possible for you to do it. So just because it was at the top, we're going to pick Google Analytics for WordPress by Monster Insights. I think almost all of these top results will work about the same for us. So we'll install and activate that plugin. And once I've activated that plugin, I should be able to access its settings screen where I can put in this tracking ID. By the way, I'm going to delete this account as soon as this video is made. So you aren't going to get a lot of use out of this tracking ID. So please configure your Google Analytics settings. And in here, I can actually authenticate to my Google account. It doesn't appear that I actually need to even, for Monster Insights, I even need to do anything fresh to copy that account. And I haven't actually used Monster Insights free before, so it's going to let it pull my data and also see it, and I'm going to give it this code to authenticate it, basically. And when I put that in here, then it should have access to my Google account, and then I can pick what profile I want, and I'm going to look for rocks in there, and I can find that one. And basically, that has pulled in that tracking code right there. I thought it would be more complicated than it was. I guess I didn't even need to say that. So the core thing is you do need to actually create that site in Google Analytics in order to set it up. And then once you do, you're all set. So now that I've got that installed, if I open up my browser in a new tab, because by default, I didn't realize this, but by default, Google, this Monster Insights thing is nice and it will not count views from administrators. So that means it doesn't put your tracking code here. But if I go to my page, without being an admin, which is why I'm in this like private or incognito or whatever your browser calls it mode, I can actually see the Google Analytics code right there. So that's what I need to have Google Analytics start pulling in my data and tell me what my visitors are doing on my site and all that stuff. And that's how we did it with Monster Insights. And that's really all you need to know. Hopefully it helps you.